This is Pod Populi, podcast for the people.
Welcome to Be Create Inspire, the podcast where we focus on the energy of growth, the energy of amplification, of how we're impacting lives through wellness, through yoga, through mindset, and bringing you amazing guests. And today I have four powerful, light, divine souls. I mean, I can't even begin to say like what I think of you all in one sentence. And I'm so honored that you're not only teaching and presenting at the Yoga Expo, but you're also in our community. So thank you, everybody. To get started, I'm going to let each of you introduce yourselves so everybody can really see because we have such a variety of professionals here. Like, I mean, you guys will see in a second when you hear everybody's introduction, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's so cool. So we'll start with Jansu Bulgu. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to be with you all. Thank you, Ariane, for bringing us all together and also creating the Yoga Expo. It's wonderful. It's going to be my first time attending it, so I'm very excited to participate. I'm basically an artist and a creator, founder of Sand Meditation, where we bring in all the different elements together through the representation of sand in live sessions, live creations to truly help us see ourselves from a much more expanded view. And some of those sand sessions are also turned into fine art pieces that harmonize spaces, elevate minds, truly an incredible experience. And so far, I've been creating live experiences as well as online experiences, in person and online, and these public installations in terms of fine art galleries in different places where people can go in and have these profound experiences. So that's my work, well-being artist.
I love it. See, I'm telling you, right? Were you expecting that? Probably not. So, so beautiful. And my dear friend, Olivia, welcome.
Hello. My name is Olivia. I'm an intuitive sex and intimacy guide, and I'm the creator of Soulgasm, the Soulgasm experience. So that will be happening at the Yoga Expo. And really, I just help you reclaim your body, own your pleasure, and rewrite your love story. So I help singles, couples, individuals really on their self-discovery journey when it comes to pleasure and sexuality.
Yay. I love that. We all can probably use you in our lives. And Utkarsh, my dear friend, welcome.
Hey Ariane, so good to be here and nice to have a chat with you again, Ari. It's been a while.
I know.
My name is Utkarsh. I am the CEO of the World Yoga Federation. We are an India-based, New Zealand and US company. We do yoga certification and training worldwide. And I'm really excited to be here personally. I've trained in the traditional system, and my guru is Swami Vidyanand, who is also the founder of our organization. Awesome to be here, guys.
And finally, Ms. Malvina.
Hello, everyone. I'm Malvina Messler, and I'm a quantum business coach, and I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs go from chasing to attracting so you can make that impact and scale your business with much more ease. And you can actually step into your purpose and calling and stop hiding and start being seen for your gifts.
Yes, we all need that. That's, Malvina and I think we have similar missions, to really help elevate businesses, because that's how we keep impacting. And, especially with us here in the wellness community, we need more wellness in the world.
Yes.
I think we can agree with that. So something I wanted to talk about today, because I believe, one of the reasons why the Yoga Expo exists in general is to showcase brands, to showcase amazing presenters like you who maybe aren't what I'm going to do air quotes here, famous because they're not on like a magazine cover, but you should be. Every presenter at the expo should be famous. And that's, talking about visibility and talking about impact. We only bring amazing people to our stages and to our rooms. So live experiences, I want to get your take, right, on how live experiences have helped your business grow. Because really quickly before I start calling on you, I'll say that my best clients have come from being in person. Not that online doesn't work. Like I'm an online business coach, and there's so much power and so much connection, so much energy from live experiences. So I'm going to actually take this to Olivia, because I know you just worked with Mind Valley and you led like a powerful session for Mind Valley. Tell me about that and how being there, and you've also been at the expo before. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd love to share about that. So the expos have been this beautiful experience of pushing me out of my comfort zone to actually practice, be on stage, and step into my power. And, you brought up Mind Valley, which was like huge, but I do want to point that like the Yoga Expo last year in LA was the biggest group, my first biggest group, which was I think like 70 or 80 people. I was blown away because I was like, maybe like 30 people will show up. Like, just hope somebody shows up. And it was shocking that it was like, there was no more room. Like they had to close the doors. And honestly, for me, it was this huge piece of like believing in my work, because I still to this day, sometimes I'm like, is someone going to show up? Is someone going to buy this? But that was just like beautiful confirmation of keep going. It's a journey and it's an entrepreneurial journey. And it was just so wonderful to experience in person. And then you get feedback right away. So it's this beautiful experience. And then, yes, I had amazing clients that came from that expo. And then, yes, it led me to Mind Valley, which was, yes, a huge like step in my career, which continues. I'm like, what's going to be, how do I one up that? Like this year, I'm like, okay, how do I like go bigger? So yes, it's been powerful, not just in client generation, but also in you as a person and your self-discovery of like, maybe you thought you'd never be on stage and then you have this experience and you're like, wow, I love this. And as scary as it was, it really got me to this new version of me. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. And honestly, it's so true that there's nothing like thrusting like yourself upon a room full of people and not knowing if like I've had people walk out of my sessions and I've had people come in through the middle, like busting through the door, like, oh my God, I can't believe like I almost missed your session. I've been looking forward to it all day. And it's that like moving, right, of your energy, your presence in that space, because again, you never know what can happen. Online, it's like, oh, if somebody enters and leaves a Zoom room, you don't even really notice. But in person, you're so right. I love that you brought that up, the confidence building.
Yeah.
How about you, Jansu? You do a lot of in-person events and things like this. Tell me what's been like one of your aha moments from live events?
Live events are, to me, truly presence. You're physically there, your mind is there. You have this incredible appointments that you said, we're going to do this time and space continuum, right there. And you make that appointment and you show up. And when we show up as self and also as community together, there's also synergy. In different kinds of, I think they've had so many scientific studies done as far as how meditation works individually versus group meditations. And there's something special about gatherings. There's something special about coming together. And when we do that in person, it is just beyond words. I have, everything I do is live. There's nothing, that comes from premeditated, pre-visualized anything. It's just flow in the moment. So that brings us to deeper presence. It's through the aliveness of the moment. We're able to hear, we're able to see, truly see what is, maybe beyond what we defined, all these identities for ourselves or thoughts or events that have taken in our lives, and we've recorded them in a certain way. And through coming together in person, particularly for these meditation, yoga practices, creating that sangha, as you say, it's very important to have that, because the eye cannot see itself, right? So we are also, by gathering, we are being the mirrors for each other and being able to observe and also experience at the same time. Being the observer and being the experiencer at the same time, I have witnessed it. I've been doing this particular work since 2010, but my connection to, observing self has been, started long before then. And I can't even explain the depth in words of the experience people have. And it's very, very important. It's very crucial. And it's just so much fun. It's joyful just to be present with each other, to be able to see each other, to hold each other, to travel together. It's just a wonderful, wonderful experience. So I certainly encourage everyone to show up. Just show up.
Yes. No, I love that you said that about, the mirrors and the reflection. Because basically what we're doing at these events is that we're creating community. And I did a recent post on Instagram the other day on how sometimes it's like, not sometimes, I'm going to say like 99.9% of the time, it's so much easier to make a deal, to get a yes, because you've formed community. And that aspect of mirroring, of experiencing things together. I have people that have come to the expo for 5, 6, 7 years, and they see each other at the show, and oh my God, the reunions. And it's like, it's that aspect of community, of experiencing together. So that mirror aspect that you say, it's so true. As a presenter, as a receiver, I love that. And Malvina, I have a different question for you. How do events like the Yoga Expo help coaches and practitioners expand their impact?
I'm a great believer in events. I use retreats as part of my framework too. And I believe that live experiences, conferences, retreats are just powerful catalysts for quantum success, right? Yeah. Because they create an immersive environment where we essentially accelerate our success on multiple levels, on mind, body, energy. And that's where we can see so many quantum leaps. Like we bend time over a course of, like in an example of Yoga Expo, it's going to be one powerful day. And I guarantee you that people who will attend, whether they're, wellness practitioners or people who are going to just be visiting, are going to have this rapid transformation because our nervous system is experiencing it differently. We're also interrupting the patterns of our everyday routine, whether we're a business owners or just yoga practitioners, for example. And those changes happen so much more rapidly. Also, we know that we're going to have fabulous interactive experiences, whether it is through yoga or through sound bath or other things that will essentially open up those portals in which we can receive the information much faster. We can have those intuitive insights. And so I think it's the fastest way, speediest way for us to get to our destination. And especially for entrepreneurs like all of us. I don't know about you, but I wear so many hats and I'm still, building my business, adding to my team, but our time is very valuable. So if we can put ourselves in the environment where one day turns into a huge quantum leap for our business, I mean, that's huge. I hope that answers your question.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's a perfect segue to talk to Utkarsh because he's all about movement, internal movement, connection. Utkarsh, you handle so many aspects. We work together and he was my client, now friend, of course. And I remember the conversations we've had, like, oh my God, I'm doing so many things. But, you've dedicated your life to the practice of yoga. How has that approach changed, like your approach to leadership and service? And what do you think that, the Yoga Expo, what do you think it's going to be able to do to amplify the teachings of the World Yoga Federation?
Yeah, it's really interesting for me. I'm really a in-person kind of a guy. I've really struggled with online services, trainings, although clients are asking for it, and I'm doing more because throughout my journey and my practice, there's only been one goal, which is in the beginning, it was to know the divine, for many years. And then after some time, it was to embody and express that divine presence through invoking it and through being an instrument, putting the mind and ego aside. And what I find is that when that works much better in person, at least I don't have that ability that I can all the time through a podcast or through a conversation, kind of pass that through to people. So that what I find is that when we come together collectively, for anything, right, from a football match to the yoga expo, right, when a lot of human beings come together, our life force kind of merges. We create a temporary collective mind. And then depending on what our aspiration is at that moment, we experience our reality through that. And so for something like the Yoga Expo, it's beautiful because you are collecting a bunch of souls who are all aspiring, because the word yoga is a mantra, because the word yoga means to connect with the divine, to become one with the divine and with everything through yourself. So then you are essentially creating a space where all these beautiful souls who are in some way or the other seeking to become one with the divine are coming together. So what I experience is when that happens, a bigger collective opening happens and a higher consciousness kind of comes down, and things happen. It's often a very transformational experience, whether it's for your business, and if you're being an instrument for that, irrespective of whatever, monetary benefits or liabilities, meaning you experienced the fire recently, right? For such a big event.
Right.
But the grace and the karma that you are creating for yourself, Ari, and for the community is fantastic.
Oh, well, thank you. and when you said that about the fire, like it was like trauma. And there's something so beautiful that came out of that, right? We pivoted, we turned it into a fundraiser. We were able to raise over, $6,000. I think all of us here got a chance to jump on the virtual, mini expo that we put on together. And what a gift that was. Like, I was getting messages from people being like, thank you for this. Like, I've stayed in my house all day today, just practicing. And I so needed that. And I wouldn't have been able to do so because I have, 3 kids. And so here's the dance, right? Between in-person and digital. And I think this could be a great round table discussion, like, why are live experiences like this at the expo so important in this hyper digital world? And I'll let that sit with you guys for a little bit as we jump into a commercial. So who wants to take this on? Why are live experiences so important in this hyper digital world?
I can go.
Beautiful. Go for it.
Sure. Well, I think we can all agree we are craving connection. We're not meant to be separate. We're meant to be together. And shared intention, going back to what Utkarsh said, when we are in a place, whether it's Yoga Expo, whether it's a retreat, and we have a shared intention, our personal growth or success in that direction is accelerated. Also, we're energetic beings, right? And when we are in a room together, we can really tune into our energy and our intuition that will guide us to a specific person in a room, that we can spark a conversation. And before we know it, that could lead to something amazing, like Olivia mentioned, being featured, in Mind Valley, right? And that's the power of connection in real life, where we can truly not just use our brain to make decisions, who we reach out to, who we cold call, but actually be intuitively guided to co-create together, to rise together, and grow together and serve together.
Yes. I'll jump in for a moment. It was really interesting for me. So right when COVID happened, I literally had a baby like 5 days before that. So everybody went digital because of that. I was in this cocoon, and I had a main digital business. And you know what I realized is that as much as I love working online because it gives me freedom, flexibility, all the things of having a little girl, like, Solen's 5 now, I was like, the best relationships come when I take time and go to an event. That's it. And so what I did was like, how do I create balance? Being in a hyper digital world, how do I create balance? So I made sure to network, right? Go to one event a month, go to one lunch meeting a month. Like, what can I do that's, easy, but that's going to make big impact? So as a coach, as a business strategist, this is for those of us who maybe are in this hyper digital world, that you feel like, you're going to make your best connections on mobile, or on launches, webinars, challenges, right? Like, this is the stuff that I teach. Create balance and find like 2 organizations that you align with. Like, okay, I know in my schedule, there's 2 yoga expos a year. There's probably going to be more, but like 2 yoga expo in persons a year. I'm going to apply to those expos. And if I can't get on stage and teach, I'm going to go as an attendee, because that'll be my day to connect to other teachers, to connect to, businesses. How can I, quote unquote, make some deals that day? And if it's not the yoga expo, maybe there's another local yoga conference or a professional organization where you could be the wellness expert. When I was mainly teaching yoga and doing health coaching, I was part of a BNI, right? Business Network International. So I made sure to do that and joined a BNI that I knew was like my metronome, that at least twice a month, 3 times a month, I was able to go and represent the wellness person in that BNI group. This is where the world is moving to now, especially with like all the AI that is happening, and all these opportunities to be live, like we're doing right now in a podcast. But like, there's nothing like shaking a hand, giving even like business cards. I gave out 3 business cards yesterday. I still have them because I know there's something so physical to like this. So don't lose that, don't get lost in digital. That's what I can say, because there's still so much opportunity to be in the tangible, in the physical form, and the energy and a hug, right? Like, I can hug you guys here, but I'm not really hugging you. I'm hugging you internally. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Anybody else?
I can go just because.
Yeah. We'll do Olivia and then Jansu.
Yeah. So for me, of course, like, I'm all about the senses and having the sensational experience. And so, yes, there is something to events where, you can smell things. I can, give my oils. You can feel the touch and the sensations that we're not there yet, right? On the digital space.
Yeah, right.
And so, yeah, I think that's like huge, of like bringing us closer to connection, whether it's with ourselves, others, and then our business as well, seeing that it's this own living, breathing thing that can evolve, that can change. And so, yeah, that's my 2 cents when it comes to senses and in-person experiences that I love.
And how about you, Jansu?
It's like there's a song, I believe, can you feel the rain on your face? Because no one asked you. That's kind of the thing, right? As the experiencer, if you want to use all your senses, definitely in person is a much more involved, experience. It's very important to do that. It's like you can look at a photo of a really nice beach, and you could really travel looking at, going through movies, things like that. And then you can walk on that beach. You can really feel that sand. You can see maybe the trees behind you. You can really touch that water, You can really feel all these things, the fire, the heat of the sun, the wind on your face. All these things really become more active when we are in person. But I do believe, a lot of the things we talked about already is key. When we come together, something bigger than just the individual us or, takes place, right? So there's something about that some of all of us that creates and generates an incredible energy. And that's something that maybe like back to the mirrors, like you have two mirrors looking at each other. There's an infinity, right? Have you ever had one of those two mirror experiments where you just stuck your head inside and kind of look like this and you can see the infinite experience? It's quite something, to reflect back on us as well. Digital is helpful, but when you have an opportunity to be meeting everyone in person, to experience something in person, nothing can really replace that.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about just fun, joy and fun. I mean, I know this event will be just full of smiles. There's always like photo booth activation. I mean, it's just, we're in vibration of joy, of fun, of laughter, of like dancing. So we literally are elevating our vibrational state. We all could use it, especially in our, what's happening in and around the world. And that is the best medicine: community and joy and being in our bodies, but also with a shared intention. I can't wait. Now you got me excited.
So I'll go to Utkarsh for a second. And this question will go to each one of you as well. So if attendees could walk away with one feeling after meeting you or seeing your work, what would that be?
I don't know. I think connection and peace. Those are the things that they will experience when they come and practice, and even if they have a chat, I think that's what that's what they will really experience.
I love that. And I mean, what you teach is really about those two things. Like I've experienced it, and it's like you connect to yourself, and then you're like, oh, there's so much. Like that was perfect. You hit the nail on the head. And how about you, Olivia? What are the one feeling?
Yeah, the one feeling. I feel like it's like if you come to Soulgasm, it'll be like a rebirth. Like it's like a transformation of like you seeing yourself with whole new eyes, experiencing your body, your senses, and just your mindset in a whole new way.
Love it. Love it. How about you, Jansu?
Peace, gratitude, expansion. It's really, and who knows why, because it's such an individual experience. There's a lot of aha moments, but if we were to generalize it, those would be the words I would use: gratitude for sure.
And how about you, Malvina?
For me, since I primarily serve wellness leaders, I want them feeling activated and fearless to take action on their purpose, so they can actually step into their purpose, be of service, and really make that impact. So I'm here to activate that in you.
Yes. And something that, I'll, after, being running the expo for so many years. And I'll tell you guys, like there's something that happens at the show that also, because I used to teach at Wanderlust, I've taught at like Yoga Journal, back in the day. And there's something at the expo because the classes are like shorter than like a 90-minute class, like we used to have at Yoga Journal, which were workshop style. And at Wanderlust, it was outdoors. So it was just like most yoga festivals are outdoors. So you're not really focused. Because you're looking at like, oh, what's the thing on stage happening? Oh my God, there's people doing acro in the corner, like hula hooping, or like, oh, that's a really cute shirt. Something that I feel like is really unique at the expo is because the classes are also 50 minutes. It leaves you wanting a little bit more, right? It's not a full hour. It's not the 90-minute workshop. And so people are getting like like a what is it? Poo-poo platter? It's not potpourri. It's like a poo-poo platter. I don't know. Yes. I'm like, English is my second language. So sometimes I mistake words, but it leaves people wanting a little bit more, which to me, it like opens up that curiosity in them to be like, wow, I never knew about this one technique. Like I never experienced time meditation. I never experienced sand meditation. I never experienced soulgasm. And now it like opens up their potential for a different channel towards, healing or towards having more fun, like whatever is, whatever. We all have different goals. Everybody comes to the expo with a different need, right? At the end of the day. And so that's my personal, like, even though me as a presenter, I'm like, oh my God, I have to fit everything in 50 minutes and I could talk about this for 3 hours, right? Because we're so passionate about what we do. It makes me be even sharper and smarter of how I talk, and then invites the coolest conversations afterwards. So I think that for me, like, if people could walk away with a feeling, it would be like curiosity. Like, ooh, what's next in my journey? So that's what I try to do personally. And the last thing that I wanted to bring upon, like, I found my notes right in the beginning. I was like, I can't find my notes. I found them. This is more like a business question because, again, we're all entrepreneurs, we're all professionals. What would you say is like your biggest mindset shift that entrepreneurs need or want? I don't like the word need, right? Like that we want when we're in this environment. Like I love how we started with the question of Olivia, and you talked about confidence, right? Like, so not saying, now that we have that one, what would you say is like another biggest one of like, what is that mindset shift that somebody who hasn't presented before in a large group, or who, this is their first time teaching at a conference? What would you say that might be? And I'll make this go for everyone. We'll start with Utkarsh.
Yeah, I think, it's interesting because I've been for the last few months going to Stanford and connecting with entrepreneurs who are actually looking to risk a lot, right? Yeah. And so I think the biggest thing is don't be afraid to fail, or rather don't go from I think that's a bit of a negative approach. Maybe don't go from a learning mindset. Yeah. Go, because no matter what happens, you already won because you're there, right? And you can only learn. So just be free and just express yourself, and then you learn something, and then you're going to do it again, because that's it's not the end point. It's the beginning of a new cycle.
I love that. How about you, Malvina?
Well, if I was to give a a little advice to someone who's presenting, if that was your question, then I would say that if you're already given this opportunity, if you're on stage or you're in front of people presenting your company, that means that you've been divinely appointed to be there. And it's not just about us, it's about all the people who are already waiting for what you have to say. And it's for you to overcome yourself and really show up in your gift, in your purpose, and ready to serve. And when we stop thinking and it's just about us and our ego and whether we're going to look good, whether we're going to fail or not, and when we start focusing on the purpose, the impact, the bigger mission, and how it's about all the other people and what's really at stake, and how we have this formula that can activate their soulgasm, right? Or help them be more peaceful or more curious. Then if we just accept that all of this was divinely orchestrated so we could play our role in this mission that we share, then that always helps me show up without thinking it's about me. It's about the people who I'm here to serve and support.
Love that. Beautiful. Olivia.
Yeah. So I think going off kind of both of what you guys said, on one end, for me, it's been a lot of like being able not to just fail, but like feel the disappointment if I really wanted something to turn out, but it didn't go as planned, to know that like the question isn't what am I doing wrong, but maybe there's just some shifts that I can make, and see it more as like a curious exploration versus like, what's not going right? Why am I not doing this? Da, 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 da. So just I guess the advice is really just to catch yourself when that autopilot voice is going, and to be a little bit softer and more gentle, because in the expo, there's going to be a lot of feelings. There's going to be a lot of emotions that are coming up. And I know in my personal journey, like the expos are huge expansions for myself as well, not just in my business, but like my own inner journey that I'm going through. So just be gentle with yourself and flow with it.
Oh, I love that reminder, right? Sometimes as entrepreneurs, we're quite hard on ourselves. I'm definitely guilty of that. So thank you. And how about you, Jansu?
Maybe think of being an entrepreneur.
I like that.
That would be very helpful. The work I do is slightly different in the sense that there's never a thought. There's no trying to do anything. There's no expression. It's more about really just surrender. And so when we are in a space like that, and when we also come to any space, whether it's a business meeting, family conversation, presenting in front of 1,000, 1 or 1,000,000 people, it really does not matter. You just get out of your own way, and you just allow that openness to show you and whoever else is there to experience with you things that are beyond your imagination. You know, we can only think what we can think. There's only a certain number of networks that we have already formed in our physical body, but our access is not limited to that. And our access is not limited to what you think you know or who you think you are. It's much more than that. And each time we come in front of another person and get to actually express that, when we are able to just completely let go of all those past definitions, we are truly alive. That is a truly live event. And that is a truly live presence. And that's what we need in this world. And I'm very happy that we're doing it together.
Oh,
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. You got that. That was so perfectly placed. Well, first of all, if you're seeing this live or if you're catching the replay of this podcast, make sure to follow all these amazing presenters on their social medias, their websites, see what they're doing, see what they're up to. We'll put all their contacts in the show notes, and also make sure to come to the expo in LA or in Florida. So April 13th, May 3rd. And if you have any questions for me, about my community, my work, of course, please contact me. Instagram is probably the best, if not email me. But I'm so honored to host beautiful and amazing, like incredible professionals like you, not only on my live events, but in the expo with Sandra. I also want to bring her into the talk because she's so beautiful and amazing business partner. So I'll see you guys soon. We'll get to hug it out. And remember, everybody, that, you know, what you do, no matter if it's like Jansu said, one person or 1 million people, it's going to help them, right? So show up with that energy. There's nothing like just being of service, and also knowing that it's going to come back to you, you know, 10-fold, 100-fold. Like I remember my first webinar was like to 2 people, and right, it came back to me like in so many blessings. So this is such an opportunity for us to keep moving that ripple effect in the world, right? We're who we're being, what we're creating, how it's inspiring. So thank you everybody for being here today. Love you all and see you soon. Namaste.
Thank you for creating this.
Thank you.